So earlier we did our final 53-man Vikings rooster prediction, but we need to incorporate some of the latest Vikings cuts as well as a couple of items that we've been hearing. So we're going to do an updated and revised Minnesota Vikings final 53-man roster prediction. So quarterbacks, nothing's changed there. I think they keep two Cousins and Mannion, Browning and Stanley both on the practice squad. Now, I think it is good to keep four quarterbacks in the sphere as well as the exemption this year where you can bring practice squad players up to the 53-man roster twice during the season, and they don't count against the roster, and then after the game, they just go right back down. So it does make sense. Running back stays the same. Dalvin, Madison, Boone, Amir Abdullah, as well as fullback C.J. Ham, the deepest and best running back group in the NFL. Jake Vargas, I believe, will make the practice squad as a fullback. The Vikings always typically enjoy carrying one on the practice squad, a la Kerry Blasingame last year, a la C.J. Ham back in the day, a la Zach Line back in the day, as well as Tony Brooks-James' recent cut. He may be back on the practice squad. And again, just because the Vikings cut Brooks James, cut Fair, cut Zettel, even cut Stacey Keeley earlier than you would expect, doesn't mean that they're going to be ruled out for the practice squad. Wide receiver, so keeping five, shuffled this deck a little bit. So you got Thielen, Jefferson, BC, KJ Osborne. Those are given. Alexander Hollands. He's at a great camp. I thought that maybe the Vikings would try and get cute and put him down on the practice squad, but I think that they do believe enough in Alexander Hollands. I believe he's fully outperformed Tajay Sharp, the veteran, that it will be Hollands over Tajay, as well as, on the final prediction, I had Chad Beebe being cut. I don't think that they're ready to give up on him quite yet, so he makes it as a practice squad player as well as UDFA Courtney Davis, who they really like as well. He looks good, number 14. Just weird. Seventh round pick, Dylan Mitchell from last season does not make it, as well as the veteran Tajay Sharp. Tight end, keeping it the top three, Herb, Rudy, Gronklin. Gronklin's had himself a damn fine camp, by the way. He's looked good. I think that one of the two other tight ends will make the practice squad. One will be cut. I think slight edge to Nakia Griffin-Stewart, the UDFA out of Pitt as of right meow, over the Marion Barbarian Brandon Dillon. O-line. So I actually didn't even include cutting of Riley Reef because I didn't think it was going to happen. I think that the Vikings' plan was really half-baked, so I didn't. But Reef is back on the massive pay cut, which is great. Dakota Dozier, Garrett Bradbury, Pat Elflein, Brian O'Neill. Left to right, that is your starting offensive line for the 2020 Vikings. Okay. Then you got Rashad Hill swinging back, where I actually thought Rashad Hill could be one of the surprise cuts, where I think that Rashad Hill could easily get through waivers, put him back on the 53-man rooster after week one, so salary's not guaranteed, a la what happened to Brett Jones last year. But keep him on the rooster. Ezra Cleveland, second-round tackle as the backup, a.k.a. left guard. Also, Aviante Collins, the runner-up in the left guard derby this season, as well as sixth-round pick Blake Brandel. He's at a really good camp. I think that if they try to get him through waivers, he may be picked off. So, as well as Oli Simaka Udo, who is just a stud. Love Oli Udo. Now, you could convince me, especially since the Vikings are skimping on roster spots at quarterback as well as linebacker, that maybe the Vikings will carry 11 offensive linemen. If they did carry 11, I think Drew Samia would be in there. But overall, Samia has been a pretty big disappointment, as evidenced by him not getting into either of the guard competitions. But I think that he could get through waivers. If given the choice between putting Brandel or Samia through waivers, I would choose Samia. Just give it a shot. Kyle Hinton, I think, has got a bright future. I think the Vikings could get him through waivers, no problem, though. Seventh-round pick, as well as so the veteran Brett Jones, still on the practice squad, still in the sphere. And also, I know what you're saying. Well, what happens if, God forbid, something happens to Bradbury? Who takes over at center? Well, Elflein obviously has center experience. Dakota Dozier, they tried at center as well. Plus, they even tried Aviante Collins at center, what was it, 2 training camps ago? 2 years ago? Something like that. So you got 4 guys out of 10 that do have center experience, so no problem there. Defensively, so you got Yannick Ngakoue, Shamar Seven, Julio Johnson, Neil Hunter. I think that'll be your on-paper starters to begin with. Afadio Denebo, obviously, is going to get his as well. Jalen Holmes. Now number 90, Jalen Holmes. Just going on a full countdown. Next to be number 89. He's going to be in the rotation as the fourth edge rusher. Cheeseburger Eddie Yarbrough also stays in the midst. Armand for Watts is going to make it. Hercules Mataafa, I believe, hangs on to the roster, as well as I don't think the Vikings would try and get cute and try to get both fourth-round edge rushers through. I think they'll pick one. I think they'll pick Wanham. So carrying 10 defensive linemen, pretty common for the – I know 9 is common, 10 – it's whatever. 2 practice squad guys, so James Lynch as well as a UDFA David Moa, who shown quite a bit and is really the only true nose tackle on the roster. So keep an eye on him. They already cut Anthony Zettel, Stacey Keeley. Kenny Willekes is down on IR after getting dinged up at the Friday scrimmage. Micah Pierce, of course, opted out. Linebackers. So I understand the case for keeping 4, and I think they could because typically, even including special teams, the Vikings rarely go more than 4 deep at linebacker, as well as, nickel is the new base, so usually it's only 2 of them on the field at a time. But Barr, Kendricks Wilson, Troy Dye, the 4th-round pick out of Oregon, is really impressing. 2 linebacker spots on the practice squad. David Reese, the second, the UDFA out of Florida. Even though he hasn't even been assigned a roster number yet, I think that he makes the practice squad. Same thing with Blake Lynch. Been really impressing so far. Jordan Fair was a bit of a surprise early cut, but like we said, just because Fair was cut relatively early doesn't prohibit him from making the practice squad. He could easily rotate in, especially since they do go so deep, 16. And also, Fair's had himself a really good camp, too. Bit of a surprise cut. Hardy Nickerson Jr., guy that picked up from the Bengals, doesn't make it. Ben Gedeon, I think Gedeon's going to end up on IR. I really do, as well as Cameron Smith is recovering from open heart surgery. Sounds like things are going well. Cornerbacks, so plot twist. I think they keep 7 cornerbacks. And I know that it's crazy, especially with 4 safeties, but 11 DBs. I think that it makes sense, especially since you're skimping at linebacker. You still have 25 and 25 offense and defense, but the Vikings keeping Hughes, Dantzler, Gladney, Holton Hill. Those are going to be your top 4, as well as Neville Clark, the UDFA from UCF, is impressed. I think Harrison Hand, he was the one I was on the fence about. I think that he does make the roster. Same thing with second-year, 7th-round pick Chris Boyd out of Texas. I think Mark Fields, the second-year man out of Clemson, also hangs on as a practice squad spot. Frankly, all 8 of the Vikings cornerbacks have done really well for themselves this camp. Safety, you got Harrison Smith, Anthony Harris, Nate Metters, as well as Stephen Parker. Nate Metters, the second-year former cornerback, switching safety. Stephen Parker, the waiver claim from Miami. Dan Chisena, the converted UDFA wide receiver from Penn State, makes it. I got Josh Metellus. Now, I didn't have him making the practice squad before or the roster, but I think he hangs on now. Brian Cole II, they already cut, as well as UDFA, Miles Oren, he gone. Specialists are all the same. So that is it. That is the final updated, revised, blah, 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 53-man rooster projection for the Vikings. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe, Daily Vikings Takes, but no, next time. Let's go. Production Ferrero.